Hi everyone, my name is Ashley with Clover Patch Knits and I'm here for episode 8 of my podcast. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning back to my channel, welcome back to you as well. But if you are new here on this channel, I do talk about everything great and wonderful regarding knit and crochet. So if this is your hobby or you just want to learn about the wonderful world of knit and crocheting, I know you will love this channel. So I want to start this episode by showing you a finished object that I recently finished. I've been waiting to show you all this finished object because working on this pattern was a little difficult in the start, but I'm so happy with the results. And the finished object that I want to show you all, I'm currently wearing. This is a Salty Air Tee by Samantha Guerin. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. So you all, this like lace section is so beautiful to me, and I also will put up a video so you can see the tee a little bit better. When I tell you I love this tee, like I've gotten compliments on this tee. I cannot wait to wear this tee. Like I know I'm going to wear this tee probably way too much, but this is just so beautiful to me. Now it is so funny because when I was working on this tee, the lace section was a little bit difficult because I've shared in like other videos that I have not worked on a pattern with lace or charts in a very long time, so it was a little difficult. So when I was working on this tee, I was like, I cannot wait to get done with this lace section and get like to the stockinette section. And then when I got to the stockinette section, I was like, oh, I do miss working on the lace like charts, because the lace chart challenged me, and it actually, once I like understood the charts and things like that, it actually ended up being a lot of fun. So this pattern was a lot of fun to work on, and I still would recommend this pattern for a beginner. You just have to make sure you're like concentrating when you are working on this section. But after you finish your lace chart, you go into stockinette, and like it's so simple. And the reason why I also love this tee is it did not take me long, surprisingly. Like I feel like this is one of my quickest knits that I have made. I started this tee on May 14th and I ended this tee on June the 14th. And the reason why it took a month is because I was also working on another project that I'm going to show you all as well. But I was working on another project, so I probably could have finished this tee within 3 weeks if I was like really focusing just on this tee. So I probably could have finished it in 3 weeks. So that is amazing that it didn't take long. Now I did make a couple of changes, not many, just actually I think just one change that I made to this tee that I feel like makes this tee much more enjoyable for me to wear. When I tell you it's so comfortable. Now the change that I did make is that on the cuff of my sleeve, the bind off in the pattern was recommended to bind off in pattern. So I tried that. It was just too tight. The cuff on my sleeve was just too tight. I even tried to like size up 2 needle sizes to bind off, and I don't know, it just wasn't comfortable. So I ended up doing the Italian bind off, and that worked so much better. Like when I tell you these like cuffs are so comfortable, like this, honestly this tee feels like something that I could have bought at the store, just like how comfortable it is. Now when I finished like the body of my tee and bound off for that one, I did bind off in pattern for that one, and that looks fine. And I like how that looks at the bottom of my tee, but I really like that I did the Italian bind off on my sleeves. Now when I was blocking my tee, I was a little nervous that my like cuffs was going to just stretch out a little bit too much, but it ended up being fine. Now the only thing I probably will do in the future is with this neckline, I do plan on adding some elastic to my neckline just so it won't stretch out too much. But so far I like how my neckline looks. It doesn't look stretched out to me, and I like tried this tee on so many times, so I am still happy with how my neckline looks. But in the future I do plan on adding the elastic. And the yarn that I use the Sandus yarn. It's their tenon linen yarn, and I think the color I use is called raspberry cream. But this yarn is also amazing. Like it is so comfortable. I had no splitting with this yarn because I had shared in other videos like how I've used other brands of linen yarn and it was splitting on me, so I was nervous to use linen yarn again. I'm like, okay, I hope this yarn does not split, but it looks great. The stitch definition with this yarn is like top tier, so I can't wait to see how this yarn is going to hold up, because I already know, like I said, I'm going to be wearing this tee a lot. Oh, and another modification that I did make is I did make the body of my sweater a little bit longer. So I was following to pattern, which you were supposed to knit, I think, around 8 inches of stockinette and then go into your bind off. So I did the 8 inches. It was just a little bit too short for my liking, so I think I ended up knitting like 11 inches of stockinette and then went into my bind off, which I like the length that of my stockinette, and I like the length that I ended up on my tee a lot better, because the one for pattern, it was just a little bit too short for me. So those are the two like changes that I made to the tee. But overall, this pattern and just tee, I would give this a 10 out of 10. So if you have never made this pattern, I would highly recommend at least you try it. And I also have shared too that this pattern is also in long sleeve. So I do feel like I can say this pattern, I would probably make this one again, and probably in the long sleeve, because I feel like this like lace design would just be so beautiful for fall time as well. So the next object that I'm going to show you all, I would say I'm around 50% done with this project, but this is my Palm Springs tank by Leslie Forrester. You all, I've been waiting to show you all this. Like, y'all, it looks like a tank top. Like, I'm working on the body of my tank top. So once I get done with the body of my tank top and finish my ribbing along the side, I will be done. So this front part, this is my front part panel of my tank top, and then this will be the back of my tank top. I still have some ends that I need to weave in, but I'll get to those. And you all, I actually did restart this tank top, but for me to get this far, it took me like 2 days. That is so amazing. Like, so if you are also a beginner, you can also do this pattern as well, and it does not take long. Y'all, I can't wait to get done with this tank top. Like, I've never made a tank top before, so it makes me so excited to be like, I can finally see my project turning into a tank top. So I can't wait to wear this one as well. So I'm so excited that I will have like 2 summer garments that I can wear, and that just makes me super duper excited. Now, the yarn that I'm using for my tank top is the fingering. It is Knit Pink's, their fingering comfy yarn in their color Marlin. I still love this color, and I also cannot wait to finish my tank top so I can see how this yarn holds up when I start wearing my tank top. And also Knit Picks, I saw in my email today, they have a sale going on their summer yarn. So if you plan on making any summer garments and need some summer yarn, they do have a sale going on. And I may have to go look on their website to see what sales they have, because, you know, I love shopping and I love buying more yarn, even though I don't need any, but it's okay. Now, a change that I did make, well, I technically didn't make a change to the pattern, but I ended up going up a size. So I started making the size large in my tank top, but when I looked at it, I was like, it may be a little bit too small for me, because this pattern does have some negative ease in the tank top. So I ended up going to an extra large, and so far I am a lot more like satisfied with how this looks, this size rather, and I feel like this is going to fit me a lot better. So the next pattern that I actually will plan to restart is my Simple Beginner Tank by Knit Crow Addict. Now, I have shared about this pattern before, I think in my last video, but so when I started on this tank top, the yarn that I originally bought for the tank top, as I was working on that tank top, I'm like, this yarn is just way too thick, because I live in the South. So if I'm gonna wear like my knit garments in the summertime, it has to be breathable yarn. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy some more yarn. So I ended up buying the yarn that was recommended in the pattern, and this is the Berroco yarn. This is their color Cherish, and it has like a beautiful speckled effect going on with this yarn. I've never used this brand before, but they do have quite a few colors in this yarn as well. Now, when I saw that one of the main like fibers in this yarn is cotton, it's 71% cotton, that made me slightly a bit nervous, because I have worked with cotton yarn before, and to be honest, it's not one of my favorites. Like the other cotton yarns that I have bought, it was not comfortable for me when I was like knitting with it, and even when I tried to wear the garment, it just wasn't comfortable. But this yarn does feel a lot more softer than other cotton yarns that I have used. So my fingers are crossed that this yarn will be okay. And so far, like as far that I got into the pattern, the first time that I started, it's so beginner friendly. Like it is such a mindless knit, and there's nothing like having a mindless knit going on. There's nothing like, for me, because I love a good TV knit. So this pattern is great for me when I want to watch a movie or TV show. So like I said, I probably will restart this tank top today actually. Now you all, another project that I've been working on, I've been waiting to start on this sweater. It is my 2025 Christmas sweater. So the sweater that I'll be making this year is my Northern Augustin No. 6 by Anna Sophia Felling. I love this pattern, and I said, because I'm like, it's the middle of June, so I'm like, okay, I need to go ahead and start on the sweater so I can be done by December and like be wearing my sweater in December. Now you all, I'm gonna have to restart this one as well, but it's okay. So I actually have finished like the neckline, and I was like working on my folded neckline. Like I had gotten that far, I just didn't like how it looked, so I said I'm going to restart my neckline, and this will actually be the color of my sweater. I'm using Knitting for Olives yarn, and I was a little concerned because I'm using their mohair as well, but when I put the yarn up like to my neck, I don't have any itchiness or anything like that, so that makes me feel a lot more relieved. Now I did do something a little bit different. So with this pattern, it requires that you start with the Jenny Magic cast on. That was so interesting to me because that is something I've never seen in a sweater before, is to use the Jenny Magic cast on. So I was very impressed to see that someone had used the Jenny Magic cast on to start a sweater. But since I've done that cast on before, I said, you know what, I want to like find another cast on that I've never done before. So I ended up finding the Provisional cast on because I saw somebody on Ravelry actually make the same sweater, and they used the Provisional cast on. So I said, since I've never done the Provisional cast on, let me try that one. And so far that was super easy. And you all, the tutorial that I found for this cast on, absolutely amazing. Like I will put that video in the link below so you all can check out that tutorial if you would like, because it's really a great tutorial. But this top part that you see, this is my Provisional cast on when I did like the crochet chain, because that's how you do a Provisional cast on. You start kind of like with a crochet chain, and then you just do your normal cast on. Now something that I was very proud of myself, because I ended up and decided to change the cast on, I did have to do a little bit of math, because when I changed to doing the Provisional cast on compared to the cast on that was required in the sweater, it did change, well, not really change how many stitches, well, kind of did change how many stitches that I did have to cast on with, but I did have to do a little math equation to figure that out, but it worked great. So if you plan on making the Northern Augustin No. 6 and you want to do the Provisional cast on, you can ask me and I can like give you the math equation that I had to figure out to make this cast on work for this sweater. So I will restart this. Well, I already have restarted on my cast on, and this is how far that I am, like literally just started. So I can't wait to finish my sweater. I don't want to set like a goal for myself, but I feel like I can finish the sweater. If it's June, probably like September. I'm gonna say maybe like the second week in September. I feel like I can be done with the sweater, because I've shared like in other videos how I would like procrastinate on my knitting, but I have gotten so much better in that. Like most time I work on my knitting like every day, and that is why I've been able to finish projects a lot sooner. I'm like, wow, the reason why it was taking me so long to finish projects is because I was procrastinating. But I'm like, wow, if you work on your knits like at least once out of the day, even if it's just like 30 or 20 minutes, it does help you finish your projects sooner. So I do feel like I can get done with that sweater at least around September, or maybe sooner, but I'm just gonna say September. Something that I recently bought myself that I have been like wanting and looking for a really long time is a yarn bowl. Y'all, look how cute this is, because it looks like a waffle cone. Like, I love how this looks, and I did not realize how convenient these bowls are until I bought myself one. I got this from Angel Cottage shop, and they have some really other cute designs as well. So I'll put their information in the link below if you want to check out their website. But I love this one and I use it all the time now. And another thing like that I'm debating on buying myself is another circular needle set. Now you already have like the Knit Picks circular needle set and the Chagu knitting needle set, but I am like debating on buying another one. So if you all have like a circular needle set that you all love, please put in the comments because I'm looking for another set. I've heard that people really like the Addie circular needle sets, but I've never bought any of those needles before. So yeah, if you all have any like circular needles that you all love, please put in the comments because I'm looking for another one as well. Before I end this episode, I want to share with you all an encouraging quote that I found, because I don't know about you all, but I love like finding encouraging quotes, and I'm always sharing these quotes like with my friends. So I was like, I should incorporate this into my channel. So you all, the encouraging quote that I found says, just be yourself, let people see the real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, beautiful, magical person that you are. So you all, I hope that quote was encouraging to you all, and if you stayed to watch the full episode, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed the episode, you can give me a like and subscribe. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'm over there at Clover Patch Knits, or you can follow me on Ravelry at Clover Patch Knit without the S on the end. But until next time, I will see you all later. Bye.